Even 8 years after its release, a lot of fan-made content is created for Fallout New Vegas daily. You can find mods that still try to fix last mistakes left by developers, or mods that add new weapons, armors, or gameplay mechanics. There is, however, one huge project that has been in production for more than 4 years, called The Frontier, and in today's video, I wanted to take a closer look at it. I will be talking about its development, story, or any new features that modders created. So without any further delays, let's get to it. The Frontier is a DLC-sized mod that takes place in Portland, city that was not so fortunate as New Vegas. After nukes destroyed most of it, nuclear winter engulfed this whole place in snow. Now it is a place of war between NCR deserters and Legion turned tribe, with other smaller factions of scavengers and slavers joining the fight. The Frontier tells the story of General Blackthorn and his soldiers. When NCR was losing battle against Brotherhood of Steel in Mojave, they promised every conscript who was forced to fight a voluntary discharge. General Blackthorn was their leader, and after defeating Brotherhood at Helios 1, instead of their promised freedom, conscripts were told to defend Hoover Dam against Legion. Instead of dying as cannon fodder in this new conflict, Blackthorn deserted and moved to Frontier with his squad. Here, they encountered Snowblind tribe that were later recruited into the Legion by Marcus Valerius, and they engaged in another war over Frontier. Story takes place before the decisive battle at Hoover Dam, and you play as a courier, not any sort of new character. The Frontier can be played on an old save, but it is recommended to start a new character for it to minimize any possible conflicts. You can start when you reach level 11, but it is best to begin at least at level 20 due to endgame content that can be found here. At the beginning of Frontier's questline, you will be working with NCR, and originally there wasn't supposed to be any way to join Legion. However, Nazo the Dark, modder that is part of the Frontier team, created one from the scratch all by himself, and now it will be possible to either help NCR or Caesar's Legion. If you want, you can also check out Scavengers or Slavers faction mentioned before. Main quest will be linear, with the different cutscenes and choices you can make that will impact one of endings you can get. Cutscenes look very nice, I especially liked Walk of Shame one, and if any others are as good as this one, there is nothing to be afraid of. You can of course take a break from story and take a look at some other side quests. Currently I am not sure how many side quests will be available, but the developers promise rich branching stories with tons of new content, and considering who is working on this mod, I have no reason not to trust them. You have Devilwish182, author of mods like Near Death or Devil's Wish, that featured new ASA mechanics never seen before in any mod. He's responsible for writing NCR questline, and he's Frontier's lead programmer. You have VGSN, author of Eve, Impact, and other effect mods. Matzintroll, creator of some great retexture mods that I still use to this day, Dragbody that made Legion and NCR overhauls, Hopper31, Drumber, Jazzy Paris, and a lot more talented creators that contributed to this project. Now let's take a look at world space. The Frontier's map will be as big as it can be when loaded in the height map editor of the GEC, and I saw a post saying it should be as big as Capital Wasteland from Fallout 3. It will include tons of new locations, like former airfield that is now a base for NCR deserters, huge baseball stadium where you can find Legion, harsh and unforgiving frozen wastes, along with mountains that you can explore. You can find bars, train stations, abandoned buildings, churches, camps, underground caves, and so on. From what I saw in trailers, there will be a huge variety in environments, ranging from ruined cities to wild unexplored areas. You can even find vaults here, and my favorite part definitely has to be the space station. Yes, you're gonna take a trip to Archimedes 2, a space station that is part of main storyline. And that is just stuff you can see in trailers, and I am sure modders still have few surprises in store for us. And now let's take a look at juiciest part, which is new features and gameplay mechanics. What I really like about the Frontier is that it adds tons of new and original ideas into Fallout, and you can see that authors are pushing Gamebryo to its limits. In trailers, you can see working tanks, vertibirds, cars, trucks, and even some sort of carts for Legion that are gonna be drivable, which is already insane. But if you take further look, you can see tons of new scripted sequences, like train chase through tunnels, that kinda reminded me of Metro 2033, or huge aerial battles where you can see vertibirds raining bombs on the battlefield. You can control minigun when you fly in vertibird, and hell, you can even mount animals in this mod. In before mentioned space station, you will be fighting in low gravity state, you will be able to experience huge battles between NCR and Legion, and a lot more that I forgot to mention, because there are simply too many awesome things to look forward to. All of this must have been hell to script and test, so I admire programmers and script creators that went through all this trouble to make it work. I mean, some action scenes look almost as good as ones in action games with huge budget. One thing I can't forget to mention, however, is that even though trailers might present Frontier mainly as an action-oriented mod, it will be focused more on story, branching dialogue, and RPG aspects of Fallout, so don't worry, this mod won't turn your Fallout into Call of Duty. New creatures, armors, and weapons will be included as well. Just like everything else in this mod, they look awesome. I saw some really weird monsters in trailers, along with some cool armors for Legion and NCR, and if you have been following Drugbody's work, I'm sure you can recognize a few of them. There were also some weapons that grabbed my attention. I also saw some new animations for them, and I can't wait to try them out. So, since so much new stuff is being added, how about any other mods and their compatibility? Don't worry, developers are trying to make Frontier as conflict-free as possible, and the most popular or essential mods can be used along with it. For example, 4GB Patcher or User Interface Organizer are essential. Other mods like Project Nevada, OneHot, or Yuki Chikai's unofficial patch are also recommended. If you are not sure which mod you can use and which one you cannot, I will be linking a Google Sheet with list of supported mods in the description below. If you are worried about performance, as long as you can run vanilla New Vegas above 60 FPS, you should be able to play this mod. However, there are a few scenes where everything explodes with tons of NPCs and vehicles on screen, so we might experience FPS drops in those parts. One thing I didn't mention before is voice acting. It is superb, and you can find tons of talented voice actors working here. For example, English voice actor of Noctis from Final Fantasy XV, Ray Chase, is participating, along with people that worked on games like Days of Infamy. I also want to mention Action Fighter 11 and Eli Ahlushan and their crews that work on this as well. If you want, you can still apply to be a voice actor. All you need to do is join the Frontier Discord and check out the announcements section, where they post casting calls. Since I am already talking about it, I would like to invite you all to the Frontier Discord, where you can ask developers any questions you want about it, or you can just talk about anything else you want, like mods or Fallout. I am a member there as well, so feel free to join. I will be linking it in the description too. If you know how to work with GEC and you want to help this project, you can contact the developers on their Discord as well. And of course, the most important question: when will the Frontier be released? Currently, team is aiming for end of the year release, but considering the size of this mod and the fact that modders are working on it in their spare time, everything can change, so take this with a grain of salt. I also want to give shout out to Maybe Next Time for allowing me to use his Frontier footage. Make sure you subscribe to him for any latest Frontier videos, and I will also be linking channels to other modders working on this, that also post videos about the Frontier from time to time. In the end, the Frontier looks like most ambitious Fallout fan project ever made. It features new gameplay mechanics, world space, quests, and original ideas that could possibly make it best mod ever made. Hopefully, modders will be able to finish it without any problems and create mod they always wanted. I wish them good luck, and I'm looking forward to its release. And yeah guys, I guess that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Originally I wanted to make the Frontier and New California mod preview in one video, but later I found out there is just too much information about the Frontier, and I decided to create a separate video for it. If I will have time before this release, I will try to make a New California or B42 project one, but I'm not promising anything. Anyway, if any of the Frontier developers is watching this, feel free to correct me in the comments if I made any mistakes, or if there was something important I forgot to mention. If you haven't, feel free to check out my previous video where I started a new series about whether it is worth to buy multiplayer games if you're only going to be playing them alone. The first episode is about The Forest, and the next one I'm planning is going to be about For Honor. My next video will most likely be top 10 Fallout New Vegas mods of the July and August. If not, it will be a For Honor should you buy it video. And yeah guys, I guess that's about it, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, tell me what you think about it in the comments, subscribe for more Fallout and other games content, and I will see you next time.